The average home in Canada costs $660,000. That's insane. But people are still buying. And some of them are doing it smart. If you're trying to buy your first home in Canada in 2026, this is everything you need to know. The FHSA, the Home Buyers Plan, how much you actually need saved, what the banks won't tell you about affordability, and the exact step-by-step process from zero to keys in your hand. I'm Bob the Budget Bot. Let's do the math. Let's start with reality. A $500,000 home. That's below average, but realistic in cities like Edmonton, Winnipeg, Saskatoon, or Halifax. Down payment rules in Canada. Under $500,000, you need minimum 5% $500,000 to $999,999. 5% on the first $500K, 10% on the rest $1 million plus, 20% minimum. No mortgage insurance. So for $500,000, minimum down payment is $25,000. But that's not all you need. Closing costs. $10,000 to $20,000. Land transfer tax, lawyer fees, home inspection, title insurance, adjustments, moving costs. $2,000 to $5,000. Emergency fund. You need 3 months of expenses after you buy. That's another $10,000 to $15,000. Realistic total you need saved for a $500,000 home $50,000 to $65,000, not $25,000. Anyone who tells you otherwise is selling something. The first home savings account launched in 2023 and it's the best deal in Canadian real estate right now. Here's how it works. You can contribute $8,000 per year, up to $40,000 lifetime. Every dollar you put in is tax deductible, just like an RRSP. But when you take it out to buy a home, tax-free, just like a TFSA. It's both. Tax deduction going in, tax-free coming out. That doesn't exist anywhere else. If you're in the 30% tax bracket and contribute $8,000, you get $2,400 back in tax refunds. After 5 years you've put in $40,000, gotten $12,000 in refunds, and if you invested it at 7%, your FHSA is worth about $47,000. Tax-free. The catch, you have 15 years to use it or it rolls into your RRSP. And you have to be a first-time buyer, meaning you haven't owned a home in the past 4 years. If you're planning to buy anytime in the next 5 to 15 years, open an FHSA now. Even if you only put in $1 to start, the clock starts ticking when you open the account. A home buyer's plan lets you withdraw up to $60,000 from your RRSP to buy a first home. Tax-free withdrawal. The catch? You have to pay it back within 15 years, starting 2 years after withdrawal. That's $4,000 per year. If you miss a payment, that amount gets added to your income and taxed. Here's my honest take. The FHSA is better in almost every way. The FHSA doesn't require repayment. The HBP does. But if you already have a large RRSP and no FHSA, the HBP is still a good tool. You can use both. $40,000 from FHSA plus $60,000 from HBP is $100,000 in tax-advantaged down payment. On a $500,000 home, that's a 20% down payment. No CMHC insurance needed. That saves you $16,000 in insurance premiums right there. The bank will tell you the maximum you're approved for. That number is a trap. A bank will approve you for 5 to 6 times your gross income, making $80,000. They'll give you $450,000. That means monthly mortgage payments of $2,500. Add property tax, insurance, heating, and maintenance and you're at $3,400 a month. On $80,000 gross, your take-home is roughly $5,200 per month. You'd be spending 65% of your take-home on housing. That's house poor. The rule you should follow. Total housing costs under 30% of your gross income. That means on $80,000, your total housing budget is $2,000 per month. That supports a mortgage of roughly $300,000 to $350,000, not $450,000. I know it's depressing. I know it limits your options. But buying a home you can't afford is worse than renting. Ask anyone who bought in 2022 at 1.5% rates and renewed in 2025 at 5%. Their payments went up $800 a month. Some of them had to sell. Don't be that person. Step 1. Check your credit score. Free through Barol or Credit Karma. You need 680 minimum for the best mortgage rates. Above 760 is ideal. Step 2. Get pre-approved. This locks in your rate for 90 to 120 days and tells you exactly what the bank will lend. It costs nothing. Do this before you start looking at homes. Step 3. Find a realtor. In Canada, the buyer's agent is typically paid by the seller, so this costs you nothing directly. Ask friends for referrals. Interview at least 2 agents. Step 4. House hunt. Stay under your comfortable budget, not your maximum. Factor in commute costs, property tax rates by municipality, and the age of the furnace, roof, and windows. Step 5. Make an offer. Your realtor handles this. Always include a financing condition and home inspection condition. Never waive the inspection. I don't care how competitive the market is. Step 6. Home inspection. Budget $500 to $700. Worth every penny. The inspector will find things that save you thousands or give you negotiating leverage. Step 7. Finalize your mortgage. Once conditions are met, your mortgage goes firm. The lawyer handles the rest. Step 8. Closing day. Your lawyer transfers funds. You get the keys. You're a homeowner. Budget $15,000 for immediate costs in the first year. Things break. You need furniture. You'll discover the basement leaks. Here's the question nobody asks. Should you buy at all? In some Canadian cities, renting is significantly cheaper than owning. If you invest the difference, you come out ahead. I made a whole video about this. Renting isn't throwing money away. Run the numbers for your city. If buying costs $3,500 per month total and renting costs $2,000, that's $1,500 per month difference. Invested at 7%, that $1,500 per month becomes $260,000 in 10 years. In cash, not equity you need to sell your house to access. Buying makes sense when your housing costs would be similar to rent. You're planning to stay 7 or more years. You have a stable income and emergency fund, and your mortgage would be under 30% of gross income. Buying doesn't make sense when you'd be stretching to afford it. You might move in 3 to 5 years. The market is clearly overheated, or you're buying because someone told you renting is throwing money away. Buying a home in Canada in 2026 is hard. The prices are absurd, but it's not impossible if you plan. Save smart, use the FHSA and HBP, and refuse to buy more house than you can afford. Do the math. Make it make sense. I'm Bob the Budget Bot. Subscribe for Canadian finance content every day. And if you need a budget tracker to start saving for that down payment, check the link in the description.